Hello?
Hey Nick.
Hello?
Hey, is this Nick?
Who's this?
This is Tim Horton. Is this Nick?
Oh, yeah. Hi, how are you? This is.
I'm doing good, bud. Did your wife tell you I was gonna call you?
She did, yeah.
Yeah, she said
Can
you're
you hear me
electrical
alright?
engineer. Yes, sir. I sure can.
Okay, I'm in a warehouse here doing some work, so,
It's okay, bud.
okay.
I'll talk quick. A couple things, like so. Basically, I don't know if she told you what was going on with the house and the stuff that was done the way it was and the stuff that we had to fix as well. I guess Alex's idea was, he wanted to go in and completely pull the panel and get a new service and do all that. And I found a couple other ways. We took care and addressed the situation just to do our best to save y'all money. Now one of the issues is, so y'all have smoke detectors in the house. They're all battery operated. So
Huh?
all your smoke detectors in the house are all battery operated. Um, they're not hardwired, but we got to add a new smoke detector in that bedroom. So we're going to do that. We'll see if that will fly with the inspector, because usually, they're all supposed to be traveled through each other on a 12-3. Now, one of the other problems is too, I don't know if you know this or not, but because of crawling around in the attic and moving wires around, you also have your furnace too up there, and you have no vents for your AC furnace at all. And that's a gas furnace, so that thing builds up and it can combust up there and blow up that house. I don't know how they got away with everything they did there when y'all bought that place.
Yeah,
But
there was, a lot of the work was done by a nonprofit that I don't know how they got through the inspection.
I have no clue. And I don't know if you know this either. So basically in the panel you had, what was going on was you had the AC hooked up on a double pole 30, but what they did was they were piggybacking using two wires from a light that was inside, and then they had the other hot for the AC onto another side of the other breaker. So they had it sharing some of the living room power, and then from there they didn't even have a disconnect on that AC at all. So it was just constantly surging power from the living room and the AC. So instead of getting your 28 amps, you were only getting like 17 and a half amps. So I don't know how the AC even worked. Um, but another problem too is, and I had taken a picture of the panel because I don't know if you looked at it at all. Um, there was a lot of the neutrals were sharing each other inside the panel too. So you had like three neutrals on one tab, and then you had two neutrals and then two grounds. So you're not allowed to double up anything in the panel in Austin. So Nick, long story short, the problem is I addressed a lot of the stuff that was there the best I could to make it temporarily, work and everything nice, and this way get y'all through your renovation. Because if we called for an inspection and Austin comes out there and they actually take note of everything that needs to be done, this would be a serious situation. So she said you were an electrical engineer, right?
Yeah.
So you understand. I mean, that stuff's not a joke. Electrical's a big thing, man. And I mean, doubling up on the breakers. And another thing is too, they had 12-2 wire hooked up on a double pole 30 amp for they were using one leg for a hot and the neutral leg for another hot, jumping off from the your old where the addition's at in that area, jumping off to the living room, and then jumping from there off into the kitchen, and then coming to the laundry room. So I mean, that right there can start a fire by itself. And I just wanted to tell you, everything that's kind of going on, because she said you would understand it better. And I had also talked to her and told her, y'all can work it out with Alex, because it sounded like y'all were on a payment plan, I guess, or something with him.
A payment plan. Yeah, you can call it that. We have a structured loan, so
Okay.
the different elements of the project scope each called for their own draw. So in that sense, it's kind of a payment plan.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Um, So, I mean, one of the situations is, I mean, your panel is full, and it was already pretty full. It had like three spaces, but it didn't have. You weren't getting any contact on one of the A phases, which is the red side phase of the bus inside the panel. That's why they jumped the AC off the way they did. Did you see that on the inspection report when y'all were buying that place?
No, man, everything that you're telling me is making me pretty upset about the inspection report that we got, because there was really no, I mean, there were no red flags for the electrical at all. There was,
Do you
I'd have
get
to go
pictures
pull.
on your phone, Nick?
I do get pictures on my phone, yeah.
Okay. Talk. You got an iPhone, right?
I got an Android.
Okay. I'm gonna show you just real quick while we're talking, so you can see what I'm talking about. Um, what is your number? 351.
351-1559.
Okay. So basically, what I just sent you was a picture of the inside of the panel, and you can see, man, like if you look over to the left of the panel, you can see. Did you get the picture?
It's not showing up yet.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm out in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee, so
Oh,
service is
you.
not great out here. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Okay. So if you look at the back, basically what you're looking at here is, so you got on the top left breaker, that breaker burnt up, okay? And that breaker's not even working. So they took that wire out and shoved it into the other breaker that's right there underneath.
Oh my
Then
god.
listen to this. Then you got another 20 amp breaker that's right there that's also free. So they took the other hot lake from the AC, Nick, and shoved it in that 20 amp. And then if you zoom in on the 30 amp on the bottom left, you notice how there's no wire going in there at all. That bottom 30 amp double pole should be for your AC. So the one on the bottom's not working. So the one up above that 30 amp is running your AC. Then if you look over to the right side, you see red tape. Then if you scroll down, you see like 5 freaking damn wire nuts, man, inside the panel. And then
Yeah.
if you look in the middle, you can also see it too. But if you look on the picture, it's hard to see, but on the right side where the white wires are going into that bar, you have 2 neutrals going in there. And, one of the problems is that panel, there's no way that y'all had an inspection and they did not catch that. That is bull crap, man.
Yeah, that I'm gonna have to talk to. That was who was that? Pillar to Post. They were super highly recommended. Our realtor was speaking glowing praises, and they gave us a great big report, and it had none of this shit.
Yeah, and another thing is too, and that's why, so basically when I found out that what's crazy is, Nick, they got, like, put it this way, they got 5 circuits on 120 amp breaker. You can have 8 to 12. In Austin, I like to do 8 because they're very, very finicky about that stuff, man. They don't like playing around with surges. So you're looking at 8 circuits per line. So on one breaker alone, they got them 5 circuits running. And then on another breaker, they got 3 circuits working. So then on another one, they got 14 circuits working. The whole house, man, was just a disaster. But the good thing is, and that's what I was trying to explain to your wife, was I don't work for Alex, bud. That Alex is a good friend of mine. I've helped him out a lot. I build houses from ground up. We do a lot of custom stuff. I'm a master electrician by trade. And I help Alex when he needs a hand in Austin, and I pulled the permit for y'all's house, and just helped him get through all that stuff. And I do only electrical for him, so I went to rough in that bathroom. And when we went to rough in the bathroom, that's the problem was when we pulled the panel to see where we were going to get the GFI for that bathroom, that's when that popped out, and I was like, wow. And then I looked over, and because your wife said that someone just put that AC in before, I guess y'all bought it. Well, if you pull up the permits back in 2012 on your house, they went and redid a bunch of electrical from a professional electrical company called 7 Star Electrical. And they got a final inspection and everything. So between 2012 and when y'all bought it, somebody went and did all that stuff.
Well, so I'm looking in there, and like, man, I'm thinking that there's something fishy about that inspection that they got in 2012, because that doesn't look like, some of that stuff looks
Exactly.
like it's real old. Like those wire nuts, those aren't new wire nuts.
No, those are clear wire nuts, and you're not even allowed to use those in the city of Austin at all. They're actually
Yeah,
making us switch to purple wire nuts now just because they want to be buttholes and make us buy a new kind of wire nut just for the Austin panels, man.
that's
So,
beautiful.
yes, but one of the things is, too, so on the rough end, where we got everything tied in, you had two plugs that were coming in there already. And you did have a light switch that, I guess that was an old closet or something,
Uh,
where
in
the addition's at.
no, there was an exterior light. There was a great big
Oh, okay.
floodlight for the yard.
Okay, well, so basically what we did was we found a way to save a lot of power instead of having to really go through the panel and pull it off and deal with Austin Energy and that's what I was explaining to your wife too. And I wasn't trying to be rude or disrespectful to Alex, but what I was trying to explain to her is like we're fixing a lot of stuff here, and Alex is a general contractor, so it's like she was talking about him being on a payment plan, and I said I can charge you for the rough end. I mean, I can get Alex to pay me for the rough end and the addition side, and then everything extra that we did, I can charge y'all for. Or I can give it to Alex, and he can put his percentage on there and make his little money on top of mine. Because she said that she was on a payment plan. I told her, I don't usually give people that option. I usually just hand Alex the bill and go for it. But I was looking at all y'all's problems, and I mean, y'all spent a lot of money there, man, on releveling that slab, on redoing this, on a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
stuff, and it's like it
yeah,
just seems to be a big problem.
yeah.
And and I just was trying to be helpful. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or step on anybody's toes. I was just trying to give her an option, and she said to talk to you. You know more about the stuff than she does, and I said I'll be more than happy, to have a conversation with him. That'd be better for me. So because you kind of get the gist of things, talking to my wife, she doesn't understand all that stuff either, and it makes them real nervous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like what you're driving at is that where I mean, obviously we need a new panel. We
No,
don't
no,
even.
no. That's what I'm trying to say, Nick. I've already helped you, bud. I've already went through and pulled the wires. Okay. What I did was I went through and unloaded a bunch of the wires that were doubled up and fixed it. So basically, instead of spending a bunch of money on pulling the having Austin Energy out there to get the meter off and us the new permit and do a new panel and yada yada yada. I actually, for the first time, because I don't usually do this stuff, Nick. I usually don't care if a customer's got money or not. I tell them, hey, we need a new panel, we need to do this and get it done. But when I sat back and I talked to Alex, he told me, he's like, dude, we've already had a problem when we had to re-level this house, and they already went into more and the contingency, and it's been a situation. And I was like, well, I'll do my best and figure something out. And I came up with a better game plan. You do need a panel pick, but you don't right now. I think you'll be fine without a new panel for a while. It would be nice to put a new panel on there and be done with it, but at the same time, right now is the worst time to pull a permit for a new panel. It would back 2 to 3 weeks.
Right. So yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get to is like. So what I'm hearing from you is that we are rigged right now for the remainder of this renovation, but we're gonna have to come back and revisit uh,
Well,
a lot of this stuff.
well, in a couple things is I wouldn't necessarily call it rigged, Nick, because I have everything done right, and I have everything to where it's fine. You have a 100 amp service, which is fine. Personally, I don't think that you need to do a panel change out only for the extent of safety, future down the road. It would be good because number one, if we did the new panel, I'd pull the meter out and I'd take that aluminum because they don't even have 4-aught aluminum coming into that 100 amp. I'd rather do a 4-aught aluminum and bump you to a 200 amp service. Then if we did the 200 amp service, then we could just be done with it, tie in the breakers, and you'd still have a good amount of space. We could do a 14 space, and you'd still have, 7 slots, um, which gives you 22 spaces on breakers. So you'd still have about I'd say about 5 empty spots. Right now, you only have one breaker. I've now maxed your panel out. So basically, what I did was, Nick, instead of going and dealing with all the trouble, I killed the main power. and I pulled every breaker off, and I completely cleaned that whole inside panel. You weren't getting contact on the A phase, and I fixed that. I rebuilt the guts inside the panel just on the backside, so the A and B phase work now. So every slot on the breaker panel works. You only have one spot for a breaker now, and then that thing is maxed out. Now, there are some things, like you didn't have a disconnect on your AC. I went ahead and put the disconnect on the AC. Your AC wasn't even ran with the right size wire. It's got a 10-2 going to it now on a double pole 30 amp breaker. Your AC's great. I got everything else done in the house. Everything else is addressed. I got your washroom is tied in the right way where it should be now. Because that was another mess too. It wasn't what you did on that switch, because your wife told me. It was they had some other wires, man, that were like jumbled up together up inside that they, I guess, pulled free when they pulled the ceiling down. And so I got all that addressed and fixed. I got, a new GFI plug outside for you in the laundry room, and I got a new GFI plug that's going to go for the new addition. All the stuff's been taken care of. The only thing that I really wanted to let you know was, number one, that smoke detector that I just added in your bedroom is on its own. Now, later on, it would be nice to do a 12-3 to run it to the other smoke detectors so they all go off at the same time. Now, will the city make us do that? I don't know. I'm going to kind of hint at them and talk to them and just ask them, hey, if we're doing this addition, is this going to be a problem? And they're probably going to say no. And if they do, then we're fine. If they say yes, then we'll add the other smoke detector, 2 smoke detectors onto that one. All the headaches are done. But looking up in the attic, and I look at the AC, and I'm like, wow, this is gas. You don't even have a high or low pipe. You don't have any ventilation coming out of the attic other than the clean air from the eave. That's it.
So that is interesting. I will probably have to. So what I think my next action is going to be, I'm going to probably contact the inspection company that we originally got, and see if they have any more documentation than the report that they gave me, or
I would definitely do that, Nick.
but where they think they got off with. If there's ventilation for the furnace that we needed that we didn't have, then we're gonna have to look at that.
And that's all rock wool up there. So I know for a fact what them guys probably did was open it up, seen the rock wool, and said, heck no, and shut it down. There's no way they crawled around up in through there. I've been all through that attic, and it's a very tight spot to get to. You got that door on the outside, which helps a lot over there by that eave. But the problem is you have the 2 vents on the side of the house. That's not considered ventilation for an AC furnace with gas. It has to be tied in with a pipe going out the roof taller than the roof pitch. And I would, Nick, definitely. I would look back at all your pictures, and I would tell them, like, look, man, number one, we wouldn't have bought this house if we would have known all these problems were there. And I'm pretty sure, honestly, because it does fall back on them, there is something you can do as far as, pursuing, further actions with them and tell them, hey, this is not right. And I want to be compensated for these little extra items that I have to take care of, because honestly, they should have looked back at the roof and seen there was no ventilation pipe once they found out it was gas in the house. It's the same thing with the water heater too. Your water heater's gas also, right?
Yeah.
See, that's another issue too. So when you have the water heater, it's got to be the same thing. I didn't even look to see. I think that water heater's vented out, right?
Yeah, it's vented out. I don't know that
okay.
So now it's got to be vented out past the roof pitch because we've got the new pitch, but the new peak. But I think that
it was.
If we look back, I bet it was not vented out past the height of the pitch, because it used to be just a slant down that was added on by some hillbilly.
Joe Blow.
Yeah. So it was that whole area was a little bit lower, which is another one of the big unexpected costs that we had to deal with on this, because Alex had drawn us up a drawing that showed the solution, but it was like, step 1, recognize the laundry room is too low. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, the laundry room is fixed.
Yeah, I understand, and that's what I'm saying. I see, and that's why I'm serious. So, and I hate to say this because I really like Alex, but when you're a general contractor and you make your money off driving around the truck and selling jobs, you look for all the little extra things that you can find. I'm actually really young, Nick, and I run a 23-man full-time crew. I've had the same guys for almost 7 years, and we build houses from ground up. We do everything. I don't make my money off one customer, so
Yeah.
I'm a lot different. So when I see a situation like this, usually Alex will tell me, just do it. Let's do it. We'll get it done. But it's close to Christmas, Nick, number one. You're not going to be able to get in and out of that and pass your draw for your loan at the bank in time. It's going to give y'all problems. And then I'm going to be sitting back paying for all y'all's fees and permits and waiting for my check too. And I just don't want to
Right.
mess with it.
Yeah.
So what I was telling your wife was, I can charge Alex, or I can work up the extras that I've done and y'all can pay them instead of paying the percentage that Alex is going to charge plus him bumping it up. Or I can just give him the bill and y'all can pay him and he can pay me. I don't care. I just
Um,
know everything's been done that needs to be fixed. I personally did the best I could to make it to where y'all saved a lot of money, and I tied everything in the way I think that it should have been done. And I mean, I think y'all will be fine for a long while, and it give you, a while to save up so we can put a new panel in. But for now, Nick, everything's taken care of.
cool. Well, so there are the two ways. Either us to you directly, or we go through Alex like the regular way. And I don't really have a preference between the two ways. But I've got no numbers to look at right now. So,
And that's what I'm saying. I have to work everything up and see where I'm at. I know for a fact whatever I'm going to add up, you're going to probably get a 35% charge from Alex, because of his, general contract. And this is my electrician on this job. You know how it
yeah,
is,
sure.
man.
That's how business
Uh,
works.
yeah. So what I was trying to do was save y'all anything I could. I've never done this before. But I do really feel bad because Alex told me that y'all had already, pretty much had several problems, and I was thinking, well,
Oh man, I could
I,
tell you a story.
well, no, like I told your wife, and I hope y'all don't talk to Alex about it, man, because I don't want any bad blood between him and I. But at the same time, man, it's kind of like this. I'm there to do his job, and I finished that. But all the extra stuff I have to address and fix, number one, for y'all safety, and number two, because if the city of Austin comes out and we already pulled the permit under my license, and they see that I didn't address those situations, they're gonna get him. I'm gonna get in big trouble.
Right.
So I did my best to do everything and tie it all in, the best way that I could to save y'all money and plus to save us the
Yeah.
hassle with getting a panel and a permit and dealing with all that.
Well, I
Now, I
mean,
mean,
it makes sense. It makes sense to me to look at it that way. As you came in, you did the work that you agreed with Alex to do, and then there was essentially a side job that was also taken, and I mean, that makes sense to me. That I don't really have a problem with that from a an ethical standpoint or anything, but I wouldn't bring it up to anybody who might.
well, and that's what I'm saying. I haven't even talked to Alex about all the extra stuff that I had to do, Nick. And me and my wife talked about it because she told me she's like, last night, it's kind of stupid, man, but I was sitting up thinking about it and I was looking over numbers for everything. And she's like, why haven't you sent all the invoices into Alex? Because she takes care of a lot of the bookkeeping. And I said, because I think I'm going to hold off. I'd like to talk to this lady's husband. And she was like, "Oh, you're growing a heart." And I said, "No, it's not that, man. It's just I really, it's not that I feel bad because it's a line of work. Shit happens. But at the same time, man, it's like it does kind of aggravate me too that you had already gotten an inspection and y'all are in that house and y'all are just having problems after problems, man. And it's like I renovate and flip houses too on the side, and I've dealt with people like that before, and that's how I know you can actually pursue them not doing the proper inspection report because I just got a house about 6 months ago and I come to find out it's full of mold,
Oh,
and they didn't even know that. Yeah, it was a big you're talking $60,000, man, just to
Jesus.
fix. I said no. And they actually gave me my money back for the whole property.
Yeah, I don't know how much pursuing, but I mean,
I don't know, but
I'm
still it'd be
definitely gonna
nice to
call
bring
them.
it up.
I'm gonna find out, whether they knew about it.
And that's
That's
what I'm
really
saying too,
frustrating.
man. It, basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work up some numbers, Nick. I'm gonna see where we're at. I can tell you right now, everything is done. I just got the guy finishing up the last little touches, and we'll be finished up. I'll add up, what I got there in the way of stuff, and I might, because I made Alex pick up the disconnect. I'll probably throw that on his ticket. It's a couple bucks, but that's also part of getting everything done. Now the other stuff, pulling all the wires out of the panel, adding in all the junction boxes that I had to do to save the room in the panel. I mean, fixing all the breakers, fixing the buses. I mean, all that stuff, I'll add it up. I'll see what the numbers come to, and I'll let you know. And if y'all want to pay me, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, let me see what it is, and then we'll get to it.
No, I understand.
And yeah, I mean, thanks for taking a look at all the apparent nonsense that's going inside our house.
Yeah, just with that AC and stuff like that. I don't care to mess with any of that other stuff, man. I just wanted to let you know, just so you had an idea.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
that's something that I'm sure won't take much to
not at
fix,
all.
but we gotta know about it before we fix it.
Yeah, it's like your wife. She said that y'all were gonna, because Alex said, I heard y'all want to put a new door on the laundry room. She said, no, we're gonna do that ourselves. she said we're gonna change the front door to the back door, and he's like, oh, okay. It's like me, man. I'm like, dude, just get in and out on the job. Like, I hate getting in a job and having to sell and redo 50 things. I like to do what we're supposed to do and get out. That's
Yeah,
one thing that really ticks me, man.
and that's where we gotta be at this point in the
For
project.
sure,
Is
man.
like we're 6 months behind schedule. We gotta wrap this up. The bank is calling me about when we're
Yeah.
gonna be done with this. So,
From Alex, y'all been waiting around or what?
I mean, it's not. I don't know. I don't know really I don't know where to put the blame on.
Well,
There's,
that's one of the things, Nick. That's why I kind of stopped messing with Alex. I hate to say it, but it's just, we run like a machine, man. My business is really well. We're highly recommended with stuff. I don't advertise. We'll do nothing, man. I got good, references and customers that call me, and I've done a lot of jobs, man. I've had to go in Alex's jobs, and I've had customers screaming at me because he told them that I was going to be doing electrical 3 months ago.
yeah,
And they just got ready for it, and it's like, come on. And the same at your house, man. I pulled the permit to do your electrical 3.5 weeks ago.
yeah,
So I waited for him, and then he was, on a job or sick or this or that. And it's like, dude, Austin don't like permits just sitting. They like people to get in and get out.
yeah. That's it. That's what we'd all want. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's been like that, but in fairness to Alex, he's like, I mean, you've seen the permit history on this house. I'm sure we've had all sorts of surprises. So there's been that too, but yeah. Anyway, the long story short is, I don't. If it's something that would be nice to do, like put a new front door on, then no. Let's let's not just add stuff. Let's just do what we gotta and be done with it. I just want to get to the inspection and get out.
No, and I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I will, man. Basically, what I'll do is I'll send my invoice over to Alex for the rough in. And, I'll take care of that with Alex. I'll work up the extras and see where we're at, and I'll talk to you about it and, walk you through the numbers and everything.
Yeah. Let me know what you come up with, where you feel like you're at, and then we can, I don't know, we can come to whatever resolution we got to come to.
How do y'all gonna pay for it? Y'all have to wait for money for a bank?
Well, that would depend on how much it is.
Okay.
You know. There's.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even have a number yet. I got everything, wrote down that's been done. I need to put the pencil through it. I really need to look it over and then let you know. I just wanted to kind of touch base with you and tell you, because if I tell Alex everything that I've done there, it's going to be a heavy price, and I'm not talking a little bit. So really, what I'm trying to do is keep it as simple as possible on the rough end, and then I'll add everything up on my side, and I'll just deal with that, and hopefully y'all pay me.
Yeah. Well, you don't got to worry about.
No, I know that, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
nothing to stress about, though. I know you're out of town, you're working hard and stuff like that. So, I mean, this ain't gonna stop you from falling over. But I will work it up, and then I'll get back to you this afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna try to be as responsive as I can, but
That's
I'm
fine,
sure
bud.
you can hear what's going on around me,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
hard to get away.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate your time, Nick. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.